consciously sit down and say, I want to manifest inspiring millions of people, making millions of dollars? Was it a conscious thing? Were there moments where you sat there when you weren't living in that reality, where you said, you know what, I'm going to decide, I'm going to figure it out. I might not know how, I might not know where or what, but I'm going to commit to it and make it a reality. I mean, talk to me at the core of your experience.
Right. So I love how you say make millions of dollars. I said I want to inspire people, and I want to be able to pay my bills. That was initially.
That was a big dream.
I want to run out a month before I run out of money. Big. I want to have enough. That like, you can't think about having abundance until you literally give yourself permission to have enough.
Yeah, get past scarcity.
So I want to have enough to dream. And so my first, I think I have a ministry mindset. My first, I just want to help people. I want to help people and I want to be rewarded for my efforts, right? And then once I got past that, I said, okay, I want more. I want to generate millions. I want to serve millions, inspire millions, and generate millions. I think I deserve all of that. But that had to do with my self-worth.
Right.
I had to feel worthy to touch millions. And I had to feel worthy to touch millions. I had to feel worthy of both. And so that was personal development, which is why I live and I stay in personal development. I teach personal development. I teach wealth development, I teach business development, and I teach personal development.
I love
because
that.
You have to have both. And so the first piece is understanding your money blueprint. And then understanding that money is an energy. And if you don't treat money right and you're not responsible with money, you will repel money because you're not a good steward of it. And so until I became a better steward of money, and I'm still growing in that area, and money and I would keep giving it away until it was all gone because my mindset said it all had to be gone. There's never going to be extra.
Yeah.
My grandmother would make 10 dimes go in 20 different directions. Who was I to have 20 dimes and only 10 directions needed?
Yes.
Right? Again, mindset.
Yes.
Right? And then understanding your worth. A big thing was understanding my worth and my value. When The Secret came out, and all of a sudden the world saw my value.
Yes.
And they kept coming at me with, oh my God, you're amazing and we want to pay you. And they wanted to pay me more than I was charging.
Yes. And you probably had limiting beliefs, imposter syndrome, right?
Oh my God.
Can you talk a little bit about imposter syndrome?
Oh my gosh.
Feeling like, whoa, I don't deserve this. Right? How do you catch up the beliefs to the money? Yeah.
Yeah, well, the night before I was going on the Oprah show in 2007.
What was that like? Probably nervous the night before,
yeah,
right?
well, I'll tell you. What had happened was, the Oprah team had heard some of my backstory. And they said, can we send a camera crew, much like this wonderful camera crew?
Yes.
Not nearly as good looking. And can we send a camera crew to capture your story? And so I shared my story. And I mean, I dumped. And I shared the ugly. And right after the interview, I regretted it. Because I didn't think I could be the secret teacher, the expert, and have that kind of ugly out there in the world. I didn't know. I didn't know that the world would love me for what I've come through. I thought that they would consider me an imposter in The Secret. And so I shared all this junk. 2 weeks later, I'm on my way to Oprah to do the actual recording, and I know I know the video. So the night before, I'm packing and I'm crying. I'm like, oh, it's over tomorrow. It's all over.
I'm gonna go embarrass myself on Oprah.
It's the fastest career up and down anyone's ever seen. Lisa Nichols will be The Secret.
Yes.
Right. So, I'm just sad. I'm scared, and I call a friend of mine at 4:15 in the morning because I stayed up all night.
Of course, yeah. How are you gonna sleep before that?
Yeah, right. And I said, they don't know my junk and the video, and it's over. And he said, look, can I pray for you, Lisa? And I was like, sure. My friend says, God, thank you for using your imperfect child to help your imperfect children. I went to Oprah the next day, and as the chatter kept going in my head, leading up to the moment when they play this video, I'm like, it's okay. I'm enough. I'm enough with all my mess. I'm enough. And the chatter kept, nope, they're going to find out. They're going to find out your son's father is in jail. They're going to find out. And I thought, no, they're not going to find out because I'm going to tell them. Because there's power in transparency. There's power in authenticity. There's power in truth. That I'm going to speak life into someone else because they're going to see who I am because of that, in spite of that, with that. And so then the after show came. So after the regular Oprah show, the after show. And man, I cracked open on the after show. And within 72 hours, talk about the power of transparency and authenticity. Within 72 hours, I received 8,782 emails. And my email wasn't even Lisa Nichols. It wasn't even easy to find. And my website wasn't Lisa Nichols.
Yeah.
People searching for me.
Whatever it took.
Because of the truth. And so I had the imposter syndrome then. I've had it since then. People told me, oh my God, you're the answer. And I'm searching for my own answers.
Right, yeah, of course. And in your coaching programs as
Yeah.
well. And as a coach myself, I know this.
Absolutely.
Because you help and serve people, but at the same time, I have coaches.
You're in your journey.
Yes,
You're in your
exactly,
journey. And you got your
exactly.
mess. You got your coach and your mess.
But that's actually the blessing. because
Absolutely.
if you're a
You'll teach
perfect
from
coach,
it.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll teach from it.
What context do you have to
Yeah,
share with
I don't want to
them?
learn from anyone who doesn't have any problems.
Amen,
Because we
yeah.
have nothing in common. Because
Amen.
I got issues, and my issues again got big price tags, take a long time, and so to the conversation about money and wealth, it's one being willing to release a familiar now for an unfamiliar future. Now that's easier said than done,
Yes.
and it's bigger than it sounds. Are you willing to have your future look unfamiliar, and in some cases, look around and you don't recognize anything? Are you willing? Are you so tied to the comfort of what you know, even in its discomfort? So I was willing to reinvent myself 1,000 times. Are you willing to reinvent yourself? Are you willing to introduce yourself to the new version of you?
Yes.
Are you willing to go places you wouldn't go and do things that you traditionally wouldn't do? See, I wasn't traditionally in meditation or in visualization or hanging around older white men, or like I had 1,000 things that I didn't do traditionally.
And people probably called you crazy for doing, like, oh, you're broke, you're getting government assistance, you can't afford Pampers, and here you are meditating, reading books, visualizing.
Going to this same conference 42 times.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to the seminar, you're still not rich already?
Right.
Yeah,
Hanging around all these people who don't look like you.
Exactly,
You know, talking about, airy-fairy stuff. But also, on your way to wealth, you got to be willing to walk alone sometimes.
Amen.
You got to be willing. You got to be
willing.
willing to walk alone sometimes, because everyone doesn't fit on your journey at every part of your journey. And there's parts of your vision that no one else will get. And when no one else gets your vision, remind yourself, no one else gets your vision because God didn't give your vision to them. God gave your vision to you. And that's all you got to know. And it's your job to be the midwife, the birthing agent. It's your job to be the nursing station. It's your job to be the doctor, the delivery doctor, to bring that vision out so the world can see it. That's your job. No one has to see it or get it while it's here. It's your job to birth it. It's your job to give it arms. It's your job to give it oxygen. And it's your job to be patient enough to know that it won't happen overnight. Just like a child. When a baby is threatening to be born in 5 months, the doctor says, hold on, bed rest. The lungs aren't developed. Hold on, bed rest. The heart isn't strong enough. Hold on, bed rest. The muscles aren't. Same thing about your dream. So when you get impatient about your dream, it's only because you're comparing your dream and your journey to somebody else's journey.
Yes.
It's only because. And Benjamin Franklin says comparison is and will always be the thief of all your joy.
Wow.
And so don't look left.
That.
Don't look left. Don't look right. Just look straight ahead. People always say, Lisa, how'd you do it? I wasn't looking left and right. I wasn't keeping notes on what Tony was doing or what Jack was doing. I love them, but I'm busy. I'm busy building my dreams. I'll stop and have dinner with you. I'll stop and bump elbows with you, but I'm not going to compare my life, my joy, my success, and what's my divine right to yours. Nor am I going to minimize my light or my brightness for anyone as well.
I love that.
So the other thing in going to wealth is you got to let your entire light shine. You can't halfway live in shine and shade. You can't halfway live in shine and shade. You can't dim your light so that you're palatable to other people. You can't turn your light down to make sure everyone can understand you, handle you, embrace you. You can't do that. You're robbing everyone who needs your light from your light. So abundance can't come to you because you're trying to temper your light based on what other people think. I did that for years, Omar. Years. I walk in the room, I go, okay, how much of me can they handle? Wow. And I never walked in the room to take over the room. No. I walked in the room to be in the room. But many times, not all of me was in the room.
Yeah.
because I'm nervous for everyone else in the room. Can they handle it? And so a part of walking to financial abundance is owning and operating in your full light. Doesn't mean you'll get it all right, but even do your wrong, run into the wall in your light. Get back up in your light, stagger back up in your light. Forgive in your light. Love, even with a broken heart, and then love again in your light. Your light is never, that light right there, that light, it's never negotiable. Because that light never ever belonged to you. Your light has never belonged to you. Your light belongs to the people who are going to cross your path. And as long as you hold it to yourself, you're operating in scarcity, even your light. Most people think it's about money, it's about possession.
Right.
It's also about your light. And so what you've seen in me, anyone who follows me, anyone who likes or loves me or tolerates me.
Millions of people.
Amen. I'm grateful. What you've seen is a piece of my light that I made available to you. Touched a piece of your light that you were either dancing and celebrating in, you believed you had, or you were trying to discover. Either one. See, a lot of my light will touch people who haven't touched their light yet, but my light will touch your light, and then it's something recognizable. It was my light touching your light, even if you didn't see your light. That's why people run up to me and they hug me and they cry.
Permission to feel their light.
Or a reminder that you have it.
Yes.
Or a reminder that it's yours. I'm a confirmation that what you thought was right. Or I negated what somebody else said about you. Or even what you might be saying about your own self. Light does that. Only light does that. Hold on. I'm going to stop so I can wipe my tears so she can wipe her tears. So that's abundance. When you can hold all that, and then you put a measurable, tangible system to it. See, abundance, financial abundance is not without structure.
Yes.
And that's what a lot of dreamers, they don't get that part. We're creators. I'm a creator. I'm an artist. But then you have to move over to linear structure.
Yes.
You have to put a tangible structure so that people can understand the takeaway. People don't invest just in a feeling. They have to invest in something that will progressively move them forward. Yeah. So how will they contain you? How will they consume you? How will they share you? How will they revisit you? All of that's in the structure and the system. And you have to be responsible enough to put that together. Even if that's not your muscle of strength, it might be your muscle of strength. And if your muscle of strength is structure, how do you get people to feel you?
Yes.
It's either one way or the other. My students come from one end or another. Either they're structure and systemic, and I want people to feel you because structure and systems will make me respect you.
Yes.
If I can feel you, I will be loyal to you. And if I feel you and love you and I'm loyal to you, you need to bring me value so that I consider you my teacher. They have to coexist and live together. And then abundance, ultimately, financial abundance comes with the willingness to be seen. You have to be willing to be seen by millions and millions of people, even in your darkest hour, even in your doubt, even in your brightest hour.
How much would you say of your, and I'm so curious to ask this, I'm actually excited that I get to ask you in person, you know?
Yeah.
How much of the big moments of your life, right, the most significant stepping stones, were you totally scared and took a step anyways? And the reason I ask is because there's people around the world watching this, and there's a step in front of them they're scared of, maybe they're nervous of. Can you talk about how important it is to take the steps into the darkness and how sort of those end up being some of the biggest catalysts in spite of how scary they are, you know?
So I haven't figured out how to overcome fear. So let me start by saying that.
Interesting.
I haven't figured out how to overcome fear. And I think there are techniques that we use to manage fear. I don't think we overcome fear because if I overcame it, it wouldn't come back.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's more of a counselor than a jailer. That's the key.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what I've learned how to masterfully do is dance with fear. I dance with fear where fear doesn't, and change the meaning that fear has. See, most people say allow fear to mean stop. Fear doesn't mean stop to me. Fear shouldn't mean stop to you. Fear informs you. Fear says, go get more information, go get a coach, go collect data, slow down, use your discernment. Fear is informing you of something. Fear is an emotion, just like compassion, love, care. It's a feeling, like any other feeling. Think about it. It's just a feeling.
It's an emotion. Yeah.
You would list it. You list it with other feelings. So why do we give it more power than the other feelings? And we universally do it. So now it's accepted by society. Oh, you're afraid? Okay, hold on.
Yeah. Let's stop right there.
Right, exactly. So we've condoned what we allow fear to mean. So I changed my relationship to fear when I realized that fear was going to be with me probably my entire life. Because the bigger you play, the bigger your butterflies. And I always plan to play big. So I'm always stepping out on new terrain. I'm always stepping on new terrain. I'm literally going into a meeting with my staff in the very near future, like tomorrow, and we're changing the game in my company. And I'm leading. So I'm like, yeah, this is exciting. And I got butterflies and bats and birds and all that in my stomach, but I also have a strategy. And so the relationship to fear is, you can come with me, but you cannot stop me. So I always bring fear along as a partner. And I ask fear, what else do you need to know? And fear always tells me, go get someone who's been here before. Oh, okay. So I go and find someone who's a pro at that.
Yes.
Well, fear, slow down a bit. You're going too fast. Okay. I pump the brakes a little bit. And so fear is telling you something. It's not ever telling you to sit down your dream. It's never telling you not to open your mouth and use your voice. It's never telling you to sit on the sidelines and wish and look at my life through a lens and through a window and not go get your own. It's never telling you that. It's telling you something that allows you to still play big. Fear is my friend. Fear is your friend. And so the relationship has changed. So
it's like they say, nothing in life has any meaning except the meaning that we give it.
Absolutely.
And so that's a perfect example of using fear as a counselor.
It is.
Not a jailer.
It's a counselor. It's telling you something.
Instead to help you, serve you.
Right.
Yeah.
And when it comes, go, hey, you here again? Okay, let's come on. Like I don't have fear doesn't have any, I don't stutter step.
A negative connotation.
Right. Yeah. And
that.
So, and I had to do that because I stayed afraid. It just kept coming, but I kept being afraid because I was playing bigger. I'm charting off to Ireland and Swaziland and Kazakhstan and Slovenia. I'm the kid from South Central. And Slovenia and Kazakhstan?
Who was getting government assistance in her late 20s, couldn't afford a pamper.
Right. Whose son's father is still in prison, who is functionally dyslexic, who got a D in speech and a fail in English. Here I am carting all over the world to parts of the world I never even knew existed.
Paying you money that you would have never even dreamed to be paid.
I get paid for one keynote, someone's annual salary, all day, every day.
Yes.
All day, every day, one keynote. What people pay double digits to sit in front of me. I had to own my worth. I had to own the worth that my 6 hours with me is someone's annual salary. And yes, I bring value for that. It's a divine exchange.
Absolutely.
It's an investment into a result. And I can own the result I commit to bring. So when you talk about financial wealth and financial mindset, it's understanding the value you bring and knowing that your fee does not equal your value. Your fee does not equal your value. Your annual salary does not equal your value.
Yes.
That those two don't equal. That's just a form of compensation for who you are. Your value is high. This is just what's being exchanged in the moment.
Yes.
So I do as many free events as I do for fee events because that fee of nothing does not equal my value. Now, before, when I'd never gotten paid, I would be offended when someone says, we only got $500 because I made it equal my value.
Right, yeah.
And so your road to financial abundance is to make money mean what money means and to not mistake it to mean something else. Money doesn't mean your value. Money is an energy exchange. Money is a tool member. Money is a team member, and money is a tool. It's a tool. Money gives you access to better memories. Money is not the end all. Money gives you access to better memories. The fact that my son stood on top of what he believes to be the tallest mountain in Africa, with his arms spread open at age 10, saying, "Mommy," with his teeth still coming back, "Mommy, I'm on the tallest mountain in Africa." I still vividly remember that Raiders jersey and those blue jeans and the teeth coming back in. I still remember the day he can spread his wings and be on another continent. Money brought that memory.
Incredible.